If being helpful got me mistaken for a pizza sauce vendor, then just existing in the wrong place led to some truly bizarre encounters that week. There was the book loft incident. I just bought a new novel, had my big paper shopping bag, and a coffee. Nature called, so I went into the men's room. Both stalls were occupied. I was juggling the bag and the coffee when the door to the handicap stall slammed open. Before I could even approach the urinal, I hear this loud, demanding bang on my stall door, making me jump. I ignore it. Then another. I finally hear a voice, muffled, shouting, "Thank you for cleaning up in there." I finish up and step out, utterly confused, still clutching my bag. And there he was, this older guy looking at me, then looking at my shopping bag, which I guess he'd mistaken for some kind of janitorial kit. He stammered, Oh, my apologies, I thought you were here to clean. I mistook that bag." I laughed it off, thinking, another weird moment, but hey, at least he was nice. But before I could walk away, this guy grabs my hand, which was down by my side, shakes it once, pulls me in close, and kisses me on the cheek. Just like that. Poof. He was gone, leaving me standing there, clutching my coffee and my paper bag, stunned. It was Halloween-level weird, man. It wasn't European, it was just deeply uncomfortable and a total violation of personal space. That moment didn't make me an employee, but it certainly cast me as a character in someone else's fever dream. I was getting ready to write the whole week off as a cosmic joke when the big one happened, the one that really defined the whole struggle. For me, it was Saturday. I was at the Timber Yard, the big box hardware store, browsing some string lights. I was cruising on my mobility scooter, decked out with goofy ghost stickers. Why the scooter? Well, after the divorce, I had some unrelated nerve issues flare up. Mobility was temporary hell. I was wearing jeans, a floral top, and I definitely did not have a bright orange apron on. First, I helped a sweet old man find an adapter. He was genuinely thankful, smiled, and went on his way. I felt good, like, okay, maybe I can just be a nice person today. Mistake number 2. Suddenly, she appears. We'll call her Vera. She needed to know where the spackling compound was, the pink kind that dries white. I pointed. It's probably down by the painting supplies, other end of the store. Look for someone in an orange apron. She replied, No, show me. I don't know what I need. I repeated, I'm sorry, I don't work here, they'll help you. And I started to slowly wheel my scooter away. That's when Vera lost it. She lunged. She deliberately stepped right in front of the scooter to block my exit. Now these scooters are heavy, and they don't stop on a dime. I hit the brake immediately, but the front of the footplate caught her leg, nudging her, not hard, but enough. The scream. Oh man, the scream. It wasn't a yelp of pain, it was a theatrical shriek of outrage. She hopped back on one foot, clutching, her leg clearly milking the situation for all it was worth, and wailed, You hit my leg! You tried to run me down. I want a manager. I want the police. I'm suing this store. 2 real employees rushed over, followed by the manager. Vera, in full Psycho Karen mode, pointed a shaking finger at me. A woman in a floral shirt on a mobility scooter, and bellowed, Your lazy employee in that chair just tried to kill me. Arrest her. Fire her. I kept my voice low and steady, trying to cut through the noise. Sir, I do not work here. I helped a customer, and then this woman lunged in front of my chair. I couldn't stop in time. The manager, bless his heart, was calm. He asked us to wait while he went to the security office. It felt like an eternity, standing trial in the Halloween aisle for the crime of being disabled and uncooperative. He came back about 10 minutes later holding his orange badge. He didn't look at me or Vera. He looked directly at the 2 employees. On the CCTV footage, he said, voice steady, it is perfectly clear. She was moving away. And you, ma'am. He finally looked at Vera, deliberately stepped in front of her. Path to stop her. You are exaggerating your injury, and your threat of legal action is baseless. If you do not leave the premises immediately, you will be permanently banned. Vera deflated, absolutely wilted like a balloon that had been slowly punctured. She didn't say another word. She was escorted out by security. the silence of her defeat more satisfying than any comeback I could have ever delivered. The manager thanked me for my patience and gave me a massive gift card. I finally got my orange lights and my stupid plastic skulls. That entire week, the fake theft charge, the coupon demands, the weird kissing, the confrontation with Vera, it was all the universe testing my boundaries. It taught me that entitlement is a psychological disorder, and some people will invent entire crimes just to justify why a stranger won't do their bidding. But you know what? The CCTV doesn't lie. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Were these Karens acting purely out of entitlement? Or is there a deeper societal issue where people simply cannot process an act of kindness without seeking to claim ownership over the person performing it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Hit that like button if you've ever had to prove your innocence against a rogue Karen, and subscribe for more stories where the only lesson learned is stay home on Halloween. You know, I thought the hardest part of my year was going to be the divorce papers, honestly. But no. The universe decided to throw a whole week of pure, unadulterated entitlement at me, turning me into some kind of accidental main character in 7 different horror shows. And it all started with a borrowed jumpsuit and a woman who had zero grip on reality. It was a Monday, 8 in the morning, and I'm standing at the bus stop, freezing, waiting for the 8:05 dressed like a character from a bad 80s movie. See, my new gig had a mandatory Halloween sales event, and since I'm not spending $90 on a plastic cape, I borrowed my buddy Leo's mechanic's jumpsuit. This thing was authentic, covered in real grease stains, stitched with Leo's Dame L. Miller, and the logo of his tiny local shop, Precision Auto. The whole thing was high-key irony because I haven't owned a car in a decade. Can't really. I'm partially blind in my left eye, so peripheral vision is a big nope for safety. So here I am, the non-driving mechanic, waiting for public transport, thinking I'm comedy gold. Then I hear it, those frantic echoing heels coming up fast behind me. Enter Brenda. Stage left and she is frantic. "Excuse me, sir, my car is dead, just stopped cold right there and I am late. You've got the uniform on, can you please just take a look under the hood?" She practically shrieked, gesturing wildly at a beat-up sedan across the street. I blinked at her, feeling my patience immediately deflate. I said, "Ma'am, I am so sorry, but this is just a costume. It's Halloween, I'm headed to a work event, I'm not actually a mechanic." And she just stared at me, deadpan, stone cold. I wasn't born yesterday. Oh, okay, I thought, starting hostile. Cool. I tried again, being super polite, explaining the whole costume thing, but she just crossed her arms, tilted her head like I was solving a riddle for her, and said, "A work event at 8 a.m. on a Monday? Just admit you don't want to help a woman in need instead of making up some stupid story." L. Miller. It's not that hard to say no. That was the trigger. I realized I was dying on the hill of, I am less qualified to help you than you think, which frankly is a ridiculous way to spend a morning. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "I am not lying and I cannot help you, I don't even drive." She then pulls out the big guns. "A mechanic who's never owned a car? Do you think I'm stupid? I have my baby in that car, you're just going to let an infant sit there for hours because you're too lazy to check a battery connection?" We went back and forth for an agonizing minute, until my bus pulled up, thank God. She hit me with the obligatory, "I'm calling your boss. You're fired, Miller." I just waved and told her to call AAA, but it didn't end there, of course it didn't. Later that day, Leo called me laughing, but also completely furious. Brenda actually looked up Precision Auto and called the owner, not just to complain, but to lie. She told Leo's boss that I had demanded $20 to look at her car, took the cash, and then stole it when I got on the bus. The absolute stone-cold audacity to invent a theft charge just because a stranger wouldn't do her bidding. Leo's boss thankfully hung up on her mid-rant, calling her out on the obvious. Lie, but man, that shook me. It showed me the terrifying lengths people will go to when they feel entitled to your time. That lie just set the tone for the entire week. A week where every single fiber of my clothing or slight gesture of common courtesy was twisted into an employee badge. Take the next day, a quick run to Wholesale Central to grab some bulk Halloween candy. I'm wearing a faded long-sleeve tee, flip-flops, the works, the antithesis of the store's red polo. My wife Anna and I had 3 coupons, but we only used 2. Anna, bless her heart, always tries to do a good deed. She walked up to these 2 older women, Marge and Patty, twin-like, looking like they co-chair the neighborhood grievance committee, who were debating the last bag of Snickers. "Here," Anna said, smiling. "We decided not to use this one. You're welcome to it." Marge took it, polite enough, but Patty, sister number 2, spun around like we'd personally insulted her poodle. She looked at the coupon, then at Marge, then back at us, her expression hardening. "What? There are 2 of us. You're only giving us 1? Can't you give me one too?" Anna was dumbfounded. "Excuse me? I only have 1." Patty gave us that intense, 1,000-yard stare, scanning our clothes, our cart, our souls looking for the uniform we didn't have. Then she delivered the line that perfectly encapsulates their entire worldview. "Oh, I thought you were giving out coupons for the store. Are you not workers?" It was like the concept of a stranger doing something nice, purely for the sake of kindness, was utterly foreign to her. It had to be transactional. It had to be her right. Anna, quick on her feet, just tossed over her shoulder as we walked. By the way, you're welcome for that coupon. That was a small win, but it was just fuel on the fire of my simmering paranoia. The next day it was the same deal, but this time at the superstore. I was hunting discounted chocolate, wearing a gray hoodie over a light blue tee. The candy aisle was chaos, a true post-Halloween wasteland. But something beautiful happened. A community. I found the Twix for a guy named Sam. Sam found Take, 5s for me, and suddenly, a 5-person candy crew had spontaneously formed, calling out requests and digging through the mess. I even took a moment to put some stray Christmas decorations back on the right shelf. That's when Ms. Trixie, in her sequined zebra print leggings, cornered me. She'd clearly seen the blue of my shirt under my hoodie and watched me performing the sacred duty of a helpful employee. "Hey, where is the pizza sauce?" she barked. Probably down a few aisles with the rest of the sauces, ma'am," I replied. "Ready to check out?" "No, show me, I don't know what I need." I sighed. "Ma'am, I don't work here. I'm just here for the leftover Halloween candy. Look for someone in a bright vest." The face she made could curdle milk. She gave me the universal ugh sound, you know the one. And then the kicker. "Well, why are you helping people, handing out candy to them and putting away this random crap then?" It was the perfect summary of the problem right there. If you are helpful, you are an employee. If you are an employee, you are property. If you are property, you must obey. Luckily, Sam from the candy crew piped up. "Because she's not an a-hole, leave her alone." Ms. Trixie turned pink and shoved her cart past us, defeated. That small moment of camaraderie reminded me that not everyone is consumed by entitlement. But it didn't stop the universe from trying its best to break me.